Well, I'm assuming it might be live in a minute. So, checking to see if it's live. It's live. Checking my volume too. I don't know what that noise is, so hang on a second. Well, I'm assuming it might be live in a minute. So, I have some kind of noise going on. I'm not sure what it is. Ugh. Well, it says that it's putting out the live stream. Hopefully y'all can still hear me. Ha ha ha. I was just messing with a cord and messed up with the internet. Sorry that y'all buffered, but life is life. That happened. Not that it meant for it to happen, but that happened. So what I was saying is, if you're new here, welcome to the live stream. Please feel free to ask questions and enjoy yourselves while we go over some news and weather. So, in case you didn't see it, I just did a video on my channel, which I'm going to pull up here, and I'm going to play it for y'all. Whoops. So let's not do that, because I don't want you to see the thing. So that's not what that was about. Hey everybody, NCWQ here. Today is 1/9/2025, and the time is 2:19 p.m. Guess what? I'm getting really excited right now because we are supposed to be seeing snow in the next 2 days. So I'm going to show you the weather here from my area. Shows that it's 38 degrees out right now. And then as you look over here, you can see our winter storm watch warning areas. And when I click on for Friday, not today, for Friday, you can see we're going to start having rain around 2:30. Around 2:30, looks like 2:33. So let me stop this for a minute. The reason I am live streaming is it was supposed to be a live stream, and I had set it as a live stream, and it did not live stream, so now I'm live streaming it. Clock. And then it's going to move into snow, and then Saturday it is going to go up until about 7 a.m. we're going to have snow. So, the news states, this is also with the storm warning states here, says wintry mixed precipitation is expected. Total snow with accumulations range from dusting of up to 3 inches, highest along and north of I-85. Total ice accumulations of a tenth to 2 inches will be possible mainly over the southern Piedmont, Sandhills, and into central and southern coastal plains, where all of central North Carolina, wind as early as Friday afternoon in the western Piedmont and spreading east Friday night. Impacts, roads, and especially bridges and overpasses will become slick and hazardous. Additional details. Snow and sleet are expected Friday afternoon into the evening hours. Wintry mixed precipitation will then spread northward Friday night into Saturday, including transitions to sleet, freezing rain, and some all rain. Confidence is low on exact precipitation types, where they will ultimately develop, and associated totals of snow and ice accumulation. However, confidence is increasing that minor to moderate impacts will be possible Friday afternoon into Saturday morning. So, some schools are already canceled. And let me pull up school cancellations so that you can see which schools are canceled. So, ABC 11 always puts out the school closings and delays.
So far what they have listed is Belparazim Academy in Cumberland County, Trinity Christian School, Fayetteville, Belparazim Child Care Center, Cumberland, Trinity Child Care, Fayetteville, and as far as I can tell, let me see, my granddaughter's school is closed tomorrow. They gave her a laptop to bring home, so she will be doing schoolwork at home. And
now your small business.
The weather alert states, first alert, cold weather advisory. A cold weather advisory is in effect for the entire area until 9 a.m. today. Wind chill values 7 to 15 degrees will be possible. First alert, winter storm watch. A winter storm watch has been issued for the entire viewing area Friday afternoon through Saturday morning for snow potential of 1 to 3 inches, sleet and ice concerns. So, clouds increase during the day Friday, with wintry precipitation expected to move into the region by Friday evening. The general idea at this time is that precipitation starts off as mainly snow and sleet on the onset late Friday afternoon and evening, then mixes with sleet and freezing rain later Friday night into Saturday morning. Then, when I pulled up another article, which is coming from our hometown newspaper, they state a wintry storm watch has been issued for Fayetteville and much of the Cape Fear region for Friday and early Saturday. A chilly, sloppy mix of snow, sleet, and ice will blanket the region with up to an inch of frozen precipitation. Travel early Saturday could be challenging as a mix of frozen precipitation sticks to bridges and roadways. After temperatures rise above freezing Saturday afternoon, much of the moisture will refreeze as temperatures drop back into the mid-20s. Forecasters agree about the mixture of winter precipitation across the region, but uncertainty grows as to just how much of each will fall on Fayetteville. A difference of a few miles or degrees or two in temperature. So that was the video. If y'all want to go watch it, it is over on my channel and I have linked it in the chat room. I'm not going to play the whole thing so that y'all can finish watching the video. Hopefully y'all are able to hear me now. I have turned the microphone back on from my side. Yeah, so anyways, let's talk about what's going on with the fires. Southern California, live updates. Officials are warning that the worst is still to come, and states that the blaze breaks out in Hollywood Hills as LA wildfires have killed at least 5. The central part of the city was under threat as a new fire broke out in Hollywood Hills. Now, that one was different because I've seen reports that it appeared down the hill, I guess from the Hollywood sign, and it was not near the other fires. So firefighters are already struggling to fight the worst blaze in Los Angeles history. Yes, you just heard. Worst blaze in Los Angeles history. More than 100,000 people are under mandatory evacuation orders. Most of the evacuation zones set up because the Sunset Fire in Hollywood Hills has now been lifted, the Los Angeles Fire Department has stated. At its largest, the zone included some of the best-known landmarks in Los Angeles, including the TLC Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard. The Palisades Fire, which is already the most destructive in Los Angeles history, has grown to more than 17,200 acres, according to CAL FIRE. Santa Monica has declared a curfew from sunset to sunrise for part of the city under mandatory evacuation order because of the Palisades Fire. The curfew was necessary because of the risk of theft in areas under evacuation order, according to a proclamation signed by David White, the city manager, late on Wednesday. The Los Angeles Department of Power and Water is also warning residents of Pacific Palisades, which have been devastated by the Palisades Fire, about unsafe water. People should use boiled tap water or bottled water for drinking and cooking because of low water pressure in the distribution system. So, that is some of the news that is coming out. Who is calling me while I'm on the phone? Give me 1 minute, please. Oops. Oh, I forgot. Hey, what's up?
Jesse's not even here yet.
She should be there soon. Let me message her and see why her bus hasn't gotten there.
She's not here yet.
Okay, so you called her already?
Because I'm parked in a no parking zone and there's cops everywhere.
Well, she messaged at 2:56, which was about 20 minutes ago, and said she'll be there in 26 minutes. So she should be there any minute.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for her bus to pull up.
Okay, alright.
I was calling to tell you that the grocery showed up and could you bring them in from outside? Only put the fridge stuff in the fridge. Leave everything else in the bags in the kitchen and I'll...
Yeah, okay, hang on. I'm live streaming right now. Chris, can you grab the groceries from the front door? I'm live streaming. Huh? Put the cold stuff away. Just the cold stuff, leave everything else. Except for the cold stuff. Alright, can I go back to my live stream now?
Yeah, I'm sorry that I came to pick up Jesse.
Okay, love you, bye. Sorry, my daughter's coming back from Kentucky today, and her bus got delayed because of a snowstorm, so she's not back yet, and my daughter left to go get her from the train station or bus station or whichever one it is, and she's waiting for her. So she just called me to tell me that she hasn't gotten there yet. George, the headset isn't working. You're going to have to message me because for some reason my computer is not allowing enough sound to get out. So I'm actually using my camera for a microphone. So sorry you guys, y'all can't see me while I have it in microphone use. So how is everybody doing? Hopefully people are doing well. Let's do some more information about the fire that's going on. More deaths are expected as damage tolls from South California wildfires soar. Los Angeles fire officials said Thursday that thousands of homes appeared to have been damaged. Thousands of homes appeared to have been damaged or destroyed in the firestorm in Pacific Palisades, an estimate that would significantly heighten the scale of disaster. I've been hearing that it's going to cost about $10 billion. And what a lot of people don't realize is just a few months ago, the insurance agencies in California dropped fire protection from insurance. So a lot of these people's houses that are being burned down are not protected by insurance. So we need to pray for all of them. Doesn't matter who they are. We need to keep them in thought and in prayer. I mean, people work their whole lives to have the things that they have, and now they've had everything taken away from them and destroyed. So we need to keep all of these people in prayer. Officials are still calculating the losses, but said preliminary estimates are grim. On Wednesday, they said more than 1,000 homes have been lost in the Palisades fire and roughly 1,000 more to the Eaton fire. The Palisades fire is one of the most destructive natural disasters in the history of Los Angeles, according to the Los Angeles Fire Chief, Kristen Crowley. At least 5 people have died in Altadena, where the Eaton fire exploded Tuesday night, giving residents little time to flee, but officials say the death toll is likely higher. Firefighters Thursday were continuing to fight the Palisades fire, which had burned more than 17,200 acres, and the Eaton fire, which has charred about 10,600 acres. Growth of the Eaton fire has been significantly stopped, LA County Fire Chief Anthony Maroney said during a news conference Thursday morning. But officials say crews are still struggling with the Palisades fire, with firefighters facing 60-mile-per-hour winds overnight. Officials say they're hoping calm winds through the day will help crews boost containment. The Palisades fire, Eaton fire, and Sunset fire, which broke out Wednesday night in the Hollywood Hills, have no containment. The Hearst fire, burning in Sylmar, has cleared 855 acres and is 10% contained as of Thursday morning. While fire winds have diminished, much of Los Angeles County remains under a red flag warning, with forecasters warning of critical fire weather through Friday night. Out-of-state resources are continuing to roll into fire zones on Thursday. This is absolutely an unprecedented, historic firestorm, according to Mayor Karen Bass. She said, but all hands are on deck. Los Angeles County Sheriff officials are working to get a count of the fatalities in the fires, but have been limited because of dangerous conditions in the fire zones. Homicide detectives are investigating deaths at several locations, including some in Malibu area. Communications Director of Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, Nicole Nishida, said. Information is still very preliminary. There have been multiple deaths in the fire areas. Amid the challenges of the past several days, Los Angeles caught a break Wednesday, with firefighters able to limit the Sunset Fire, which broke out at Runyon Canyon above Hollywood. Crews were also able to keep a house fire in Studio City from spreading. Not sure where Studio City is. Unlike during the catastrophic conditions on Tuesday night, when winds gusts up to 100 miles per hour were recorded, on Wednesday night, aircraft were able to make water drops on the Sunset Fire, which broke out shortly before 6 p.m. Wednesday. Officials initially ordered a mandatory evacuation of a swath of Hollywood north of Hollywood Boulevard, but lifted the evacuation orders Thursday morning. I saw that on the one of the news channels this morning of people coming back home. I just hope that it wasn't too fast for them to come back. The Sunset Fire has burned 60 acres according to California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. Officials urge people to still be vigilant. Thousands of residents across Los Angeles County remain evacuated. Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna said at least 20 people have been arrested on suspicion of looting homes in evacuation zones. That is sickening. And according to what was stated on the news, they will prosecute anybody who has been arrested to the fullest extent of the law. They stated that 20 people had been arrested, so that's quite a bit. Wind speeds weakened across Los Angeles region Thursday morning, with isolated gusts reaching 35 miles an hour in the Malibu area and 58 miles per hour in San Gabriel Mountains. The reprieve is expected to be brief. Winds are anticipated to strengthen again Thursday night. So, there is going to be more wind. Late Wednesday, the National Weather Service downgraded the fire weather outlook for the region from extremely critical to critical. Humidity levels remain low, and no rain is in the forecast for the coming days. So, that is some of the news that is going on in California at this time. George? I looked at everything that I could look at, and I couldn't figure out the headset. What would happen is every time I plugged it in and went to use it, the computer would turn the sound down on my computer. Let's take a look at Zoom Earth. I haven't looked at this in a while. So this is Zoom Earth. This shows all the fires that are going on over here. So you have the Palisades fire, which is 17,234 acres. 0 contained. You have the View Line fire, that's new. The Olivas fire. You have the Eaton fire, which states 10,600 acres, not contained. You have the Sunset fire, there's not too much information on it. You can also see there's no precipitation. There's the Hearst fire. That one says 671 acres, and it is somewhat contained. I heard that it was 30% contained now. I don't know, there's a Toner fire, there's a Limestone fire, and the Riverside fire. But the biggest ones that we're worrying about is this Palisades fire. We can take a look at the rest of the weather that's going on. Let's see what the wind says. This is our wind that is going on across the United States. Temperatures. You can see it's 31 degrees up here in Washington. It's 35 degrees and 37 degrees in Fayetteville. It's cold here. And the millibars aren't too bad. It's 1023 for Charlotte. What is it for North Carolina? I mean for Fayetteville, it's 1021. So the millibars are kind of low. Well, they say high, but I think they're a bit low. And here we have the radar. That's live radar. And here you can see the Palisades fire over here. Let's see, I want to look at something else. So this is null school. And null school will show us our SO2 readings. So let's see here. Chem. And we can see the fire that's going on here. This is the fire area. I wouldn't want to be around this area. There is really bad chemicals in the air right now. The darker it is, the worse it is. And you can see these really dark areas. Really bad for breathing. I wouldn't want to be in this area at all. We got some SO2SM showing up as well. Looks like there might be some fire over here as well. But not as bad as in California. I used to look at this when earthquakes were breaking out. And I remember thinking it was cool. Because the red areas, you could see where earthquakes were going to happen. Or had happened. If y'all ever want to look at this, this is earth.nullschool.net, and I'm going to post this in the chat for anybody that might like to look at it. So that was the weather update. My granddaughter we have a 3.1 earthquake. Let's see where this is happening. We have a 3.1 in Mindanao, Philippines. Oh, I pulled up the wrong thing. Huh? Okay, we have a 3.1 earthquake in Mindanao, Philippines. It was 10 kilometers deep. Before that one, there was a 3.8 in Greece, which was 15 kilometers deep. And if you look at the video that I put out just a little bit ago, you will see that I went over the 5.8 earthquake that occurred in El Salvador. So that was posted in my last video that I posted, and I posted a link for it in the chat room, so you can go and look at that video. You use that one too, Richard? Yeah, I like that one. Somebody showed that to me a long time ago, and I really like it. So, yep, we're getting ready for a snowstorm, ice storm, whatever you call it, starting tomorrow around 3 o'clock. It'll start raining, and then we should be having ice and snow and sleet and all that yucky stuff all the way until 7 o'clock the next morning. And they're saying that we're going to have about 3 inches. So my granddaughter has already been sent home from school until Monday. So they sent her home with a little laptop so that she can do her homework and stuff. And I think it's interesting because I'm trying to figure out how many kindergartners you see sit still. So she's going to have to sit still and do her homework, which should be very interesting. So you guys, am I too loud? Let's see. Can I turn this down a little bit? Is that better? Let's see if that's better. I don't want y'all getting me to be muffled. Let me see. I'm gonna let it double talk for a minute so I can see how loud it is. So
That's better. I don't want y'all getting me to be muffled.
Okay, so I was able to hear that. You said yuck, I can keep it here? You know what? I was just thinking about it. I think this is the first time in maybe 3 years that we've had snow and 5 years that we've had ice. And if it's an ice storm, that'll actually be really cool, because a long time ago when I first moved here to North Carolina, we had an ice storm. And I remember we were outside when the rain started falling, but it wasn't rain. It fell, it hit the trees and immediately froze. And I remember thinking, whoa, that's cool, right? There were icicles on the trees. It was like a winter wonderland. It was really cool looking, except you just don't want to go driving on it. Well, they're expecting freezing rain tonight. So that's what that is. It's when precipitation, when the heat, I believe it happens when the heat goes up high. Happens when the heat goes up higher and the rain falls or the snow falls, except it's not totally frozen. It hits the cold air and freezes. Been there, done that. That is why I say yuck. George, you know what? I actually love wintertime. I'm busy, Skylar. Okay, we know. My granddaughter's at the door. Knock, knock. The groceries are here. Her mom got groceries. So anybody else looking forward to the snowstorm? Chances of flash freezing, like for real. Earth is doing some very strange things. Yes, I think so too. And this year has started out crazy. Let me see. Terrorist attack, a possible terrorist attack. Then we have the firestorm over there in California. And we're going to have an ice storm on the East Coast. Okay. Then we had just had tornadoes in the middle of the country. This is crazy. This is crazy for winter. Tornadoes in the winter. I was talking with somebody and I thought that it was very, very strange. I mean, tornadoes can happen at any time, but you don't really hear of tornado outbreaks during the winter. So the sound sounds good? That's good, because I don't want it to be too low to where people aren't going to be able to hear me when I'm speaking. So there's been a 1.4 earthquake. Let's see where that is. This thing is not showing everything today. That's Java, Indonesia. That one is in Java, Indonesia. That is a 3.2, 31 kilometers deep, Java, Indonesia. Could freeze instantly anywhere, anytime, with space temperatures dropping to ground level. Sun can't protect as much anymore. True. Joe is sick. Oh, well, I hope Joe will feel better. We miss seeing Jose DeVito here. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, I decided I was going to do earthquake updates today and go over weather and news. And basically, because there's been so much going on with fires lately, I don't want to forget about earthquakes and other things that are occurring in the world. So I wanted to make sure that we get other information on what's going on in the world. Okay, so for all you smokers out there, I got a piece of news for you. Biden is about to do away with smoking. He's going to help everybody to quit. He is dropping the levels of nicotine, just so you know. So if you are a smoker, that is something that you have to look forward to. He is going to be signing a law. So here's coming from Fox News. This was listed 2 days ago. Biden admin working effectively to ban cigarettes, an 11th hour proposal, a gift to cartels. The Food and Drug Administration is moving forward with a regulatory rule in the final days of the Biden administration that will effectively ban cigarettes currently on the market in favor of products with lower nicotine levels, which could end up boosting business for cartels operating on the black market. Biden's ban is a gift with a bow and balloons to organized crime cartels with it, whether it's cartels, Chinese organized crime, or Russian mafia. It's going to keep America smoking. He stated it's going to keep America smoking and is going to make the streets more violent. The FDA confirmed on Monday, as of January 3rd, the tobacco product standard for nicotine level of certain cigarette products had completed a regulatory review, but that the proposed rule has not been finalized. So, he also faced a congressional probe over a proposed ban on menthol cigarettes, because of the fact that they said that it would go against the minority in this country. Okay, so 8 hours ago, there was also a post which stated, after ditching a controversial proposal to ban menthol cigarettes last year, the Biden administration is working in its final days to push through yet another contentious tobacco proposal. Now the FDA is looking to limit the amount of nicotine in cigarettes. The specifics of the rule, which cleared an office management and budget review last week, have not publicly released, but are likely to create a very low nicotine product standard that would be lower than the amount of nicotine that naturally occurs in tobacco plants as contained in cigarettes. So to me it sounds more like they're going to make something that may not be healthy either. So if you think about it, if you're trying to cut out a limit in something, it sounds to me more like a shot that you take that you wouldn't want. So I don't know, for people that smoke, maybe it's not a good idea, but maybe it'll be helpful. But then again, the cartel's going to be putting stuff out on the black market, just like the other drugs that they put out there. Richard Smith says, let Biden take my cigarette. Good luck with that. Richard, I heard that he resigned from office. Yep, Trudeau has resigned. He put out that he will be resigning and that they are looking for someone to, I guess, for a vote, an election. So I did a video on that a few days ago. That was interesting. So let's see here. That was one piece of news for today. Now, Live Science is stating that they know when Yellowstone volcano is going to erupt next. A detailed look at Yellowstone magma storage system finds that only one region is likely to host liquid magma in the long term. New research has pinpointed where Yellowstone volcano will likely erupt. It won't blow today, but future eruptions will likely center on the northeastern side of the national park, the new study finds. Not that Yellowstone is likely to still be a national park by the time it erupts. Any such eruption is expected to take hundreds of thousands of years from now. So, note that. It says any such eruption is expected to take place hundreds of thousands of years from now. Study co-author Nifna Bingington. Why am I getting a phone call? A volcano seismologist at the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory told Live Science. Hang on one second. I have to tell her that I am live streaming. Ha 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 ha. Hang on a minute, you guys. Okay. I'm taking care of business over here. Sorry. Okay, so the research published January 1st in the journal Nature found that rather than being stored in one big blob under Yellowstone, melted magma lurks in 4 separate reservoirs with the crust of the caldera. To the west, those reservoirs do not touch the deep mantle rocks that would otherwise heat them from below, keeping them liquid and eruptible. But to the northeast, near a landmark called Sour Creek Dome, deep rocks are heating the magma trapped in the crust. That means while magma under the western side of Yellowstone will likely start to cool and solidify, the northeast will stay hot. Previous studies of Yellowstone had used the passage of earthquake waves through the caldera to try to gauge where liquid magma versus solid rock sat beneath the park. But waves can change their behavior based not just on whether they are traveling through a solid or liquid, but also on temperature. That means hot, solid rock is hard to differentiate from similarly hot liquid magma. The new study used a method called magnetotellurics to get a better look. Earth's rotating core creates a magnetic field that surrounds the planet. Because magma contains magnetic minerals, pockets of subterranean liquid magma create their own mini magnetic field detectable at the surface. Using instruments deployed around Yellowstone, researchers mapped these mini fields to find hidden pockets of magma. They found 4 pockets together contain more liquid magma than was present during large caldera forming eruptions at Yellowstone in the past. One 2.8 million years ago, and one 1.3 million years ago, and one 640,000 years ago. This magma rests as deep as about 6 to 7 miles. and that's 9.6 to 11.2 kilometers beneath the surface. Bennington stated, but only in the northeastern region of the caldera is the magma in touch with basalt rock, and that's hot basalt rock, from the mantle that will keep the magma liquid in the long term. Despite the large volume of magma pooling below Yellowstone, the caldera isn't likely to erupt anytime soon. That's because the magma sits in pore spaces in solid rock within the caldera, much like water in a sponge. Only when more than 40% of these pore spaces are filled with magma in the pores link up, get mobile, and start erupting, Bennington stated. She and her colleagues estimated that the fraction of the filled pores was 20% or less, similar to estimates in other studies. We have a much lower concentration of magma in these pore spaces, so a lot fewer of the pore spaces are filled with magma, she said. What this means is that you can't interconnect these magmas to mobilize and erupt. But as hot rock warms the northeastern magma pools over tens of thousands of years, this could eventually change, however long that will take, or if it will happen before the mantle rocks in the northeastern region of Yellowstone lose contact with the magma reservoir remains unknown. So that has to do with Yellowstone. And the article was published January 1st in the journal Nature. So, I'm going to give you the link that I have to this article. If y'all would like to read it, this is the one that's coming from the journal Nature. That's for scientific-minded people like me. Okay, so here's another article. In the remnants of a dormant volcano, Biden protects a Northern California monument. Tribal communities in Northern California's mountainous interior are celebrating the recent decision or designation of Satilla Highlands National Monument after decades of advocacy work to increase land protections in the area. President Joe Biden's designation comes in tandem with the designation of Chuckwalla National Monument near Joshua Tree on Tuesday, and effectively protects more than 224,000 acres of volcanic forest habitat spread out across Modoc, Shasta Trinity, and Klamath National Forests under a new management plan led by the U.S. Forest Service. Advocacy work to protect the land there on part of the Pitt River Tribe has taken place over a span of 3 decades, according to Brandy McDaniel's Satilla National Monument, led for the Pitt River Nation. And according to John McDonald, the land is sacred and it's holy land. It's a place of creation. And it's been used by ceremonial gatherings and teaching area for our people since time immemorial. That's why it's so important to get a long-term protection solution for this very valuable land. Satilla translates to obsidian place in the Ajumawi language, referring to the wealth of the obsidian deposits in the area, which were formed by ancient lava flows. The dormant Medicine Lake volcano sits in the middle of the monument and stretches over an area 10 times larger than Mount St. Helens in Washington. Its remote location promises visitors some of the nation's darkest skies where distant galaxies and stars are visible, according to the Forest Service. Satilla was also home to the Fall River underground aquifer system, the largest spring-fed river system in California and one of the largest in the western United States. The aquifer provides water to Californians through the state's northern region and stretches nearly 100 miles to the Sacramento River. Not only is the land important to us indigenous people of the area and surrounding tribes, but for all people of the region and the state of California in general, McDonald said. And this article was posted today. Though the monument's designation has garnered support from tribal members, local residents and officials across the state, it's not without critics. Republican Congressman Doug LaMalfa of Richville released a statement Tuesday expressing concerns that increased federal management of the area might limit the public's access to it. LaMalfa also proposed legislation this week that would make it easier to thin national forests for timber sales and wildfire protection. This land is already under federal jurisdiction, and adding more federal rules will create unnecessary challenges for land management, particularly in wildfire prevention and maintaining usage for local residents, LaMalfa's statement read. McDaniels refutes LaMalfa's claim that the designation limiting access and challenging land management in the area. Recreational access is not hindered by the monument's management plan. The designation will instead provide new opportunities for land management, including fire prevention, as local tribes collaborate with fire services to apply traditional management practices to the area according to prescribed burns. Well, if they'd done all these prescribed burns, then they wouldn't be having all these fires right now. When that happens, guess what? That means more access to these other very important places for our people, which have been barred from them for years. So, that was my opinion just a minute ago. If there were all these prescribed burns going on, I guess we would be seeing a lot less fires. Yes, Richard, I remember the island you sent me, but I am not going to do the island today. I actually have to get off in a minute and go meet up with a family member and go take care of some stuff with her. So I don't want to get into the island and then forget about it. So I will do the island most likely tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, so I can't go anywhere anyway because we're going to have snow. So I will do something to keep myself busy. Maybe I'll do 2 islands tomorrow. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. If I do 2 islands tomorrow, you'll be getting a freebie. But yep, sorry you guys, my sister called me in the middle of going over that last article with you guys, and she was like, "Where are you?" Because I hung up on her, so I had to message her. And I told her, I'm busy in the middle of a live stream. Isn't it funny, when you're busy doing something, everybody calls you. You're doing a live stream, and your phone ring, ring, ring. Hello, Moto. Somebody's calling you. Oh, it's snowing there? Awesome. Well, you've been getting quite a bit of snow, Richard. I hope that you stopped getting snow. Say hi to your wife. Alright, you guys. Well, this was just a quick live stream to go over some news with you all. Let's see if there's anything that we're missing. You can see that there was another 1.2 earthquake. It was 4 kilometers in depth. Okay, so State Farm, just so you guys know, State Farm canceled policies in the Pacific Palisades due to rising fire threats in California. How many of y'all think that that should have happened? Because isn't it odd that those policies were canceled, what, 3 months ago? So I think that is very odd. Y'all can see it. State Farm cancels policies in Pacific Palisades due to rising fire threat in California. And it says, ahead of the disastrous wildfires that ravaged parts of Los Angeles County, State Farm, one of the most prominent homeowners insurance providers, reportedly canceled several policies in the Pacific Palisades area. The insurer cited the rising wildfire threat in California as a reason for the policy cancellations, claiming it was a strategic move to sidestep financial failure. So they were worried about their bottom pocket more than they were worried about the people. Amidst the ongoing blazes around Los Angeles, local authorities have tallied over 1,000 structures lost to the flames, and they anticipate this figure to grow. The Pacific Palisades community is reeling as residents look to their homeowners' insurance for relief from the fire's destruction and a means to rebuild their lives. However, State Farm's recent policy cancellations means that options may be off the table for many. There was something else I was wondering about. Anybody notice the what do you call it? The thing that moved all those cars out of the middle of the roads. If anybody had been watching that, I wondered something. Yes, they parked their cars in the road. It wasn't fire that would have damaged those cars. Those big machines pushing those cars out of the way. I wondered something. Could the insurance place the vehicles because of the fact that those big bulldozers moved their cars and damaged them? Because the damage came first from the wheelbarrow, from the equipment. It just crossed my mind, and I was wondering that. But you know, who am I? I'm just a little person. So, anyways, you guys, just wanted to do a real quick live stream, catch up with y'all, do some news. Let y'all see Earthquake 3D and the earthquakes that have occurred today. Yep, bulldozer. I remembered it at the last minute. I kept trying to think. I was going to call it a wheelbarrow. Ha! That's funny, right? Okay, I'm a girl. I didn't play with Tonka trucks when I was little. I probably should have, but I didn't. I played with, rocks. Because we didn't really buy toys when we were little. Like I said, up until the time that I was 8 years old, I lived on a boat, and we had seashells for our toys, and swimming and scuba diving and sailing. So we didn't do much for toys. And then by the time that I ended up in a foster home, I was too old to have toys and had no interest in them. Welcome to the channel. Please remember to hit like and subscribe. Oh, and share, because I just did some updates. If y'all would like to listen to them, make sure you scroll back on the live stream and you will hear all the updates. Yes, Richard, it's awful what the insurance companies are doing. It's very awful. And just so y'all know, my youngest daughter's father has family in Los Angeles, so I've been trying to find out how they're doing. My ex-husband lives all the way over in California, and I live over here in North Carolina. Yay! Someday I'm moving back to Washington State or Florida, or maybe possibly out of this country. Okay, so that would be fun, right? I mean, I hear the UK is good. Just kidding. Maybe I'll move to Ireland. Or an island. Yeah. There's islands, aren't there? Anywhere to get away from the craziness. I remember a bulldozer in Granby, Colorado. You know those pictures that are being shown online in the videos? Oh my God. They remind me of some of these apocalyptic movies. They are just so crazy. I feel so bad for the people, and then I was sitting there and I was talking to somebody and I was thinking, where are all these people going to go? They have no homes, and you got thousands of people that evacuated. Where are they going to live? Okay, so we might have people, and you got to pray for everybody, and that means even the rich people too, even the actors and actresses. They're going through PTSD from this. They had to leave from the fires as well. Yes, they lost a home. Some of them may have 2 or 3 homes, but you still have to pray for them. A lot of these people work their way up to where they're at. And regardless of whether they got other homes, hopefully they'll step forward and they'll help other people too. But I was thinking about, where are all these people going to go? Los Angeles is never going to be the same again. When I was about in my 30s, I went to visit Los Angeles for the first time. And big place. I went to go walk on the Walk of Fame where they have the stars and stuff at. That was cool. I went to one of the most popular, famous restaurants down there. And that was an interesting trip. But still, you got to wonder, where are all these people going to go? They evacuated. They left. Their homes are burned up. Insurance is not going to pay to rebuild their homes. Where are they going to go? And the government has stepped forward with FEMA. Go figure this one. They have stepped forward and said, FEMA is going to be there for you. We'll give you anything and everything you need. This is what Biden told California. Why didn't he say this to North Carolina? And then he wasn't even worried about it after that, because then he started talking about his granddaughter was just born, or grandson. And I'm sitting here thinking, wow, what an update. What about the people here in North Carolina that are still living in the mountains freezing, that still don't have homes, that still haven't been taken care of? What about them? But now we got another disaster. Didn't they say FEMA had no money? Didn't they say FEMA was broke? So how is FEMA going to help California now? I'm just curious. If they don't have any money to have helped North Carolina, how are they going to have money to help California? I mean, that's something to think about. But, you know, Biden said they're going to give them the full extent of everything and ask them if they had everything they needed. Okay, so what are they going to do? Hand out $750 grants again that people have to pay back? That's not going to replace a house. And that kind of money in California, you can't live on it. That's good enough for maybe a day. So guess what? There's a lot of questions surrounding this as to how people are going to survive. And you know, here's mine. I've been thinking about this. Hopefully, most everybody evacuated that needed to evacuate. Yes, they are finding people that are passed away. I was reading the news this morning and they found somebody's remains in a house that had burned, or a building that had burned. I'm not going to say it was a house because it was a building that I saw. And I was thinking about it. I'm just hoping that most everybody that needed to evacuate evacuated. And I hope, in a way, that this is a big lesson to California, because I can't figure out why they didn't have water. Something just didn't make sense. I'm like watching the news and the fire things aren't working. What the heck? The water pressure was gone. But firemen were without the means that they needed to fight fires or probably even protect themselves. Some of it just doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense, because it don't. Anyways, you guys, that's the end of my rant for today. I hope that y'all are well. Those of you that are on the East Coast, I hope you're ready for this snowstorm. I hope that you have the heating that you need. Make sure you have extra blankets. Make sure you have an extra way to heat your house if you lose electric. Make sure you have bottled water. And make sure you have bottled water for at least a week. Because if the electric goes out, it may take some time to turn it back on. Make sure you have a means to keep yourself warm. Yes, you can put on layers and layers and layers of clothes. Make sure you have a means to eat, which means canned food. Canned food that you can open, that you can eat from the can, or vegetables, or bread, or peanut butter, or crackers, things that don't have to be cooked. Because, again, if the electric goes out, you're going to need a means to feed you and your family, or if you're by yourself, just yourself. Make sure you have a means of lighting. Okay, so candles are not the most safest, so if you have a lamp, a lantern, those are good. You can hang those up. I know that Dollar Tree has those push-on, push-off lights. Those work really well. Those will work up to 24 hours, as long as you get some extra batteries for them. You can get flashlights. Flashlights work really good. The headlight works really, really good for putting on the front of your forehead. Those work really, really good, because if electric goes out, you're going to wish you had a means to light your home. Make sure that if you have extra spare batteries, you know, the little battery packs? You know, the little battery packs that you can charge your phone with, the extra battery charger for your phone? Make sure you charge those up and make sure that they are charged. You can also charge your phone from your car if you have the means to use your car to charge your phone. So make sure you have that, because your phone is probably going to be your only link of communication if the electric goes out. If you have a house phone, it probably won't work. That's especially if the electric lines go down. I knew that because I used to have a house phone, and our electric would go out here, and the only phone that I had left was my cell phone. So make sure you have your cell phone charged. What else? I would say one of the things that happens generally during storms when electric goes out and stuff, especially when we had the hurricane here, you're going to have neighbors that are going to be without. So sometimes it's good to have extras that you don't need that you can help your neighbor with. And look out for the elderly. Make sure that the elderly are able to protect themselves. A lot of elderly people can't get out or won't get out to go get the things that they need. People can always ask, hey, you got what you need? Do you need anything? Can I help you? That is the best thing to do, is to ask others, are you okay? Anyways, you guys, follow the same rules that you would follow for earthquakes, for being prepared to know what to do during an emergency. On my website, there's a link below my video. On my website, and I'm going to show you this, there is a list. Let me go to my link tree. Is this one it? Nope, that's the wrong one. On this group here, if you look on underneath my link tree, you'll see this website. Click on first aid. It always pays to know first aid. This will tell you everything. This will tell you everything that you need to do if somebody is hurt or injured or burned. It goes through everything. Nosebleeds, choking, shock, when a person's not getting enough oxygen, what to do if someone's in shock. This is good to know, and this is good information to know at all time. I even have cardiopulmonary resuscitation listed on here as well, coming straight from Mayo Clinic. Also tells you how to perform CPR. So, anyways, this is just something that I've set up a long time ago. This website is free. You can go on here and look at any and all information. I also have seismological sites for seismicity around the world. So you can go and look on here for links and check out earthquakes in other areas. Or if you'd like to, you can join a Facebook group. Our fastest growing group is the Worldwide Earthquake Group, which has 26,000 members. So the only thing that I ask on these groups, you're welcome to chat, you're welcome to post all kinds of updates and information or whatever. You're welcome to post YouTube videos. The only thing that I ask is that if you're on these groups and you comment to other people, is that you are polite and you talk to people as you would expect to be talked to. I have to remind people, especially on the worldwide group, not everybody on that group is Christian. So I have a lot of people on there who'll be like, It's the end of the world. It's in the Bible. It's this, it's that. And I have to remind people, not everybody believes the same things you do, but that's okay, because we're all there to take care of one another. I'm Christian. I don't talk about my faith enough. I should talk about my faith more, but I am Christian. I'm a born-again Christian. And I have friends that are other different religions, but I don't push my religion on other people as much as I don't want them to push theirs on me. So I do acknowledge the fact that I am born again, that I am Christian, and I have a love for people. So that is one of the reasons why I do YouTube videos and live streams. Anyways, you guys, thank you for being here today. Thank you for checking into the channel. Thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. Remember, take care of each other. Tomorrow is never promised. Remember to tell somebody you love them and make each day an adventure. Richard, thank you for being here today. George, thank you for being here today. And to everybody else who has checked in, watched the videos, please like, subscribe, share, and thank you for spending your time with me. Tomorrow is Friday, and as I have nothing to do with tomorrow because we're supposed to have a snowstorm and everybody's going to be home, I will be home and I will live stream around 2 o'clock. So, I hope to see you all on my next live stream. Please take good care of yourselves, and hugs to the world. Much love.